So let's get started. Hey,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, Dave.
it's Wednesday.
It is.
What are we talking about today?
We are going to pick a home and we're going to analyze it to see if it is better as a buy and flip or buy and hold.
Okay.
All right.
So last week we introduced the spreadsheet on analyzing the property on whether it was something that we could flip and make money on.
Right.
So I'm gonna flash back and forth between the screen and us and show you the worksheet that we did. Again, today's going to be a shorter video. We just want to kind of plant the idea that all properties have value, either as a flip, buy and hold, or maybe it's a home that you want to move into.
Okay.
Today we're going to look at one that maybe is a flip.
All right.
So, here. So, pretty sure you can see my screen and see this little house. I'm not going to give the address because it is not listed. In fact, we're trying to buy it as we talk, and if you're the guy who actually owns this property, we're going to talk right after this video.
right
Right
after.
So this little house is in Fresno, and before we even started, I went and I did what I felt were comps on the home after it was repaired.
Okay.
So it's all fixed up. Other homes in the area have been selling right around 200,000.
Okay.
So I feel like that's the value. We could probably sell it pretty quick at 200,000 if we just do a few things.
Okay.
And I'm not going to really comment on what I see in the picture here. What I want to look at is the analysis on what it's going to cost to fix the thing.
Right.
To our worksheet from last week, and I'm not going to go through each little line this time. I did do my analysis as far as fixing the place up. So here are the things that I felt most homes need.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be things after we go through it, we may be able to eliminate some
Right.
things.
Right.
And I kind of feel like $29,000, which is what I came up with,
Mm-hmm.
might be a little on the high side. But what they never show you on those HGTVs are the surprises.
Right.
Or they soft pedal it that it's not that big. And they still, somehow they make money
Right.
at the end.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it's not always that perfect. So
Right.
I wanna be realistic and know, okay, we could at 29,000 we could make this thing happen.
Right. Yeah. It's always better to go a little bit higher.
Yeah. So it is also based on the assumption the home is available at 149. So I'm assuming that our purchase price is 149. Based on that and everything else, as I come up with this analysis on this house, and you see it top here is in red, it says at 149, and my estimate is we're gonna be losing a little money on this. In fact, we lose about a little over $1,000 on it.
And this is as a flip, right?
This is as a flip.
Okay.
So I can't really say that it's something that I'm all that excited about anymore.
Right.
The nice thing about the tool though is it says, okay, it recommends where we should pay, what we should pay to get it, and here at the bottom of the page it says 135,500.
Right.
So I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna adjust the price, my purchase price, to the 130. Let me change that. Now all of a sudden it bounces it up to that 10%. Again, this program is geared towards a 10% profit minimum.
Right.
If you come up with that, this program says, now go.
Oh, that's good. That's the price we need to.
Yeah,
buy
so
it at.
130, this place makes some money.
Yeah,
This would
definitely.
make some money. But again, kind of a promise is this house a better flip or is it a better buy and hold?
Right.
And a buy and hold is assuming some things on the rental
Mm-hmm.
industry. Right now, rentals are very strong. There's about a 0% vacancy.
Yes.
So some of my figures have not included a large allowance for vacancies, and I should. When I look at it, I would put a bigger number for vacancy in there. So the numbers that I'm looking at is assuming about maybe a 5% vacancy.
Okay.
Maybe to be on the safe side, I might want to figure. So I'm going to come back to this house, and I've created another Excel spreadsheet, and this one is fairly easy. But if anybody wants a spreadsheet, that's easy to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume the 149
Mm-hmm.
purchase price. My 30% down is 44,700,
Right.
giving me a loan amount of the 104,300. And if I figure 6.5% interest, my payment, my principal and interest, is going to be the 659. My taxes. Don't ever buy a house and forget about your taxes.
Yeah. Easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Very easy.
So that's 167 a month. My insurance, maybe a little high on that. Again, it doesn't have a pool, but I have to quote it in the area that it's in and everything else.
Mhm.
But I'm figuring $125 a month. And then the one thing that everybody seems to forget is the maintenance.
Yeah,
And I always like to dial in about 1% of the purchase price
yeah,
per year
Mhm.
and then divide it by 12. So it's about 1,800 a year. That's gonna take into account roof repairs, minor repairs, plumbing and things like that.
right,
But if your AC goes out, now you're looking at 5,000 or 6,000.
right,
If you have some major structural problems, you know, 150 is not gonna cover it.
no, but you gotta have something in there.
You do, again, this is a house that we're gonna buy and put some money into it and fix it up. So there shouldn't be a lot of surprises coming at us every year. Again,
Mhm.
150 a month is safe if you don't end up spending it over a period of 4 or 5 years.
Right,
Now you have it. So my total indebtedness on this thing is 1,100 a month. And again, I've invested my down payment here, my repairs here. So my total investment in this property is 73,700.
mhm,
So when I do my evaluation is how much money am I making on the money I invested?
right,
Because that money I've invested, I could be doing something else with it.
that's correct, that's the question.
So if I could get 1,300 a month on this home, it gives me $200 a month cash flow, considering all my other expenses.
Mhm,
When I take that 200 a month times it by 12, I come up with $2,400. And then I divide that number by the amount that I've invested, the 73,000.
okay,
So it tells me I'm making about a 3% return on my 73,000. So the question I have to ask is that a good return on my investment?
right, and that's gonna have to be up to the individual, because there are some that would say that's a steady amount, no risk involved, but other people are gonna think that's way too low.
And you know what, and I'm kind of feeling it's way too low. I want to look at it. Now, here's something I didn't mention about this little house. It's only a 2-bedroom house.
Okay,
So the problem is that I think the 1,300 is very
Mhm.
optimistic.
Yeah, it's a
In
little
fact,
high.
probably looking at 1,000 a
Mhm.
month. So now all of a sudden, this house is gonna cost me about $100 a month,
right, out of pocket,
out of pocket.
yeah,
Now, I had somebody very wise tell me one time, he said, is that a bad deal?
mhm,
And part of the reason is, in 20 years, this house is free and clear.
yeah,
In 20 years, my rent's probably gonna go up.
right.
I have all the depreciation on my taxes and everything I can write off. And how they put it, it's like, if, they asked me what my favorite car was, and I said, well, I'd like, like a Porsche.
Mhm,
And he said, well, what if, do you want a brand new Porsche, or do you want a Porsche that's 7 years old?
mhm,
I said, well, I'd take a 7-year-old Porsche. And he goes, well, do this. Go out and buy a brand new Porsche, and then rent it to one of your rich friends for
yeah,
7 years.
uh-huh,
Let them make the car payment on it, and in 7 years, that car's free and clear. And then you get it free and clear,
and you get your used Porsche.
and you get your Porsche back. You get a used Porsche back, and I'm
Makes
thinking,
sense.
that's kind of a clever idea. So, if I have to feed something $100 a month, and in 20 years that house is free and clear, so that's, maybe feeding something isn't such a bad idea when you're just getting started. If it's a
Mhm.
house that's in a good location and it's something that you wouldn't mind moving into if you had to.
Right, right, especially if it looks like the area's gonna appreciate over the years.
Yeah. So in this case, you're going out, you're buying a Porsche. In fact, if you paid $149,000 for a Porsche, it'd be a pretty nice car. That'd be a pretty nice one. And in 20 years, it's free and clear.
Right,
And the difference with a Porsche and a house is the Porsche doesn't go up in value
that's
every
correct,
single year.
that's correct.
Unless it's a 1967 and it's been in the garage someplace and never driven. Then maybe it's anyway, so my return on this, let's go to 1,200 a month. Let's just say, the rental gods are in your favor. You're making $100 a month. That's 2% return on your money.
Mhm.
So now I want to ask the question is, do I want to make 2% on this investment, or put my money to work and make 35% over the same time period?
Exactly,
Investment. And that's something I just have to look at. If this were a 3-bedroom house and I could get higher rents, then it might make a little bit more sense to buy and hold.
yeah, definitely would. So yeah, it just comes down to personal preference, because 16,000 is pretty good if you just keep flipping them and flipping them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, getting a rental 2, 3, 4 rentals and just holding on to them. Appreciation, you might be able to sell them in 5, 6 years, make enough
So
to satisfy yourself.
last little evaluation, because I'm assuming I'm gonna buy that house at 130. What happens if I buy this house at payday? So with everything else being equal, it's, I've invested less money is the only thing. It doesn't raise what I can get for the rents.
Right.
It drops slightly my house payment. This number should be, probably closer to about $550. So it drops my payments a little bit. It brings me up to 4%, but
Right.
buying it cheaper gives me another 2% here, and it gives me another, remember, it was what, -1, gives me another 10%
Right.
here. So in this case, this house is a flip.
Yes.
In my-
Yes, I totally agree. And that's where you make most money is on the buy, making sure you get it for the price you want to get it at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, if anyone has a property that you're looking at, you'd like us to evaluate it with you, we'll do it in the highest confidentiality. We'll sign a non-disclosure. We're not gonna try to step on your toes, but we'd, love to help you out and
Yeah.
see whether or not it's something you,
It'd be a pleasure to help you out.
So, I guess, I'm Dave, and this is
Mike.
Mike, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
See ya.
All right, thanks, guys, bye.